This is the Jack Murphy Podcast. Here's your host, Jack Murphy.
Well, happy National Doggone Dog Day, everybody. Jack Murphy here on the Jack Murphy Podcast, joined by my nearly famous super friend, Alpha Trevette, the actor, stage, screen, Netflix, you name it, he's in there on it. In fact, he's got to hurry today. He's got a big audition coming up, and oh, look at there at the pooch.
There's Wicket.
I've already done a video with my pooches this morning. We went and had a nice walk, and
I saw it.
when we got home, I gave them some extra treats, and so everybody is happy, happy, as Phil Robertson used to say. So today on the program, I don't want to talk about Cracker Barrel. I'm tired of Cracker Barrel. But, Alpha, I want you to start the program because you've got some more great economic Trump is winning news you wanted to share with us about another big investment in America.
Yeah, apparently the talks he had with South Korea yesterday turned out very fruitful because they are spending literally hundreds of billions of dollars investing in the United States.
Just one afternoon. Just one afternoon.
Yeah. One thing they're doing is buying 103 jets from Boeing.
Okay.
That means they're buying, I don't know the number, but a number of engines from GE and investing in other sectors of the country. And hopefully he also negotiated a little bit of extra, hey, what the hell's going on in South Korea kind of stuff. So there was great news on the economic front, great news hopefully on the social front in South Korea because they're kind of leaning toward China and away from the United States right now. We're Trump, I know, was going to go, we spend a lot of money on you guys protecting your part of the peninsula. We need you to step up before we commit to keeping our soldiers there. But all in all, it was a great economic day for
I don't know if you saw this, but Canada suddenly dropped all their tariffs.
Yeah, well, did you notice when he had the big G8 kind of meeting at the White House? Did you see who was conspicuously missing?
Because they're not a member anymore. They're not one of the big 8 or G7 or whatever it is.
Right. Carney was missing from that.
Yeah.
Wasn't even invited.
Didn't need him.
For any Canadians who are saying the United States has lost influence around the globe, well, you're not even invited to the grown-ups table. You're sitting at the kids' table over there.
It's just amazing how quickly things get done. I mean, we heard all that talk during the Biden administration that we can't fix the border without passing this budget, and we need billions more to. Oh, there's nothing we can do. They're overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed with the problem you created, number one, and number two. Turns out we didn't need a lot more money. We just needed somebody to make the decision to fix it. And he got it fixed so quick it made people's heads spin. And now, Alpha, you and I have talked about this situation in Washington, D.C., where, as you know, I'm very progressive. I spend a lot of time on TikTok.
You're the talk of the town, man.
I like to see what the public's talking about, what the young people are discussing on the talk and everything. And if you see the loony left-wing liberals, it's like, oh my God, he's invaded Washington. This is not democracy. But if you actually see the people that live there, like the cool older black people that have lived there their whole lives, they catch them on camera and they go, man, it's like a different place down here.
Right.
Nobody's been killed in 18 days, no carjackings, no robberies. You can actually walk around and you don't smell weed everywhere, and it's a nice place to walk around. Who wouldn't want that in their city?
Well, apparently a lot of left-leaning Democrats don't want it in their city, like Chicago, Los Angeles.
Apparently Pritzker and Brandon Johnson, they don't want any peace and quiet. They'd rather have 30 people killed every weekend. And of course, we all know what's going on. They just hate Trump. They don't want to support anything that's a Trump idea.
And you've got to figure that they fell for the bait and they've fallen into a trap. So
Oh yeah.
what they're saying is now, yes, we like crime in our city. We like
Yeah.
people being killed every day.
Right.
And Pritzker threw this figure out that in 2024 there were 327 murders, and in in 23 there were 327. In 24 there was 271 murders. So it's getting better.
Yeah.
So instead of every 20 hours having a murder, it's only every 25 hours. So hey, that's
Yeah.
much better.
And I wonder, I said this on the podcast the other day, how much those numbers have been played with, because I know the police chief and the mayor were talking about how, crime's really down for the first half of 2020. It's down 30%. Well, they had one weekend, the second weekend in June. I looked this up, where they had 30 murders in one weekend. 30 in one weekend.
Wow.
But it's great when you see young African Americans walking around Washington, D.C., and they have great things to say about what's going on. Listen to this.
So President Trump has not even had control over Washington, D.C. for 30 days. And I have on my For You page video after video showing D.C., specifically Union Station, and how clean and safe it is. People don't understand how big of a deal it is, specifically for Union Station, because there is a bridge, whether it's the bypass, it's either 95, 395, or 495, where the homeless, as well as people who are abusing drugs, as well as the drug dealers, they just squat. It's clean. It's all gone. This was also an underpass bridge where people would throw their waste. So you would drive on the main road, and to the left and right of you is nothing but trash. It's all clean.
Wow.
People don't understand how big of a deal this is, because the Capitol is right there within like a 6 or 7 minute walk. And then also local residents, they did not like walking there, whether in the daytime or the evening. Some people would take taxis just to avoid any type of encounters. And people have been talking about cleaning this up for a decade. And you mean to tell me President Trump hasn't even had control for 30 days and he cleaned it all up?
Yeah.
So President Trump has not even had control.
So, it's just a matter of somebody having the will to say, hey, we're not going to have these homeless encampments around public transportation in the heart of our nation's capital. We're just not going to have it. It looks terrible. The people can either go to a shelter where they've given them a place where they can go, or they can go out in the woods somewhere else, but they're not going to be living on the street here in the nation's capital.
And it shouldn't even go along ideological lines or political lines or what politicians you hate and what you don't like. If you have a home that's filled with crime and filth, and somebody comes in and says, look, let me help you clean it up, and you go, no, you're invading, you're bringing in your totalitarian thoughts and ideas. No, so we'll take care of it. Okay, but you haven't been taking care of it.
Right. Gavin Newsom, who all the polling that I see, I think Pritzker's going to try to be in a primary.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom, definitely. I think Kamala is going to try to. I don't know if she's going to make it, but Newsom has so much baggage. Unfortunately, to the liberal voter, that doesn't matter. I just don't think they care. They hate Trump. They hate Republicans. They hate conservatives so bad they don't care. But if you go back and look on internet, and you go all the way back to when he first became mayor of San Francisco, and he would come on, in his suit and his hair slicked back, and he'd go, we're going to end homelessness in San Francisco in 2 years, in 5 years, within the decade. And then he became governor. They have spent, I saw the figure the other day. My mind's not good at withholding information like this anymore, but they've spent something like $20 billion on homelessness, and it gets worse every single year.
Yeah.
Worse. And what this young lady was talking about, some of these cities that you go to, I'll give you two examples, Portland and Seattle.
Oh, man.
Where you have Antifa That's their headquarters. Those two places are Antifa's headquarters. But they have taken, I saw these poor people that live in this neighborhood, and this guy said, my wife and I both work full-time jobs. We have children. I worked a second job to save money to buy this little house right here. And look what we have to live with behind us. And the street behind him, both sides of the street, just old, wrecked RVs and travel trailers. And, the people just shit right there on the side of the road and leave it on the side of the road and dump their black water on the side of the road. And then there's an exit off the interstate. And so there's like a triangle of land there, right? Well, this drug dealer has a tent set up, and he just openly sells crack and fentanyl, and they all come and buy it and do it right there. And they're all, and he had video of them, laid it out or slumped over, whatever. Right. And the police do nothing about it because of the liberal policies of the city council and the mayor of those two cities. It's amazing.
Yeah, I did radio in Seattle for about 3 years, I guess it was. And I remember when I got there, I said, wow, this is the most beautiful, pristine city.
Yeah,
and it was
at one point.
And I haven't been back in a number of years, but I see video of places around the Space Needle and in the U District where Antifa and whoever else is set up, and to where they had the no-go zone a few years ago.
Right.
And it's just stunning to me that people okay that, allow that, and perpetuate it. And the only way to clean it up is there's going to have to be some serious, hard crackdown.
Yeah.
And
it's like the Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
Everything there is closed up pretty much now.
Yeah.
There used to be all these great restaurants. I mean, I've been there several times, and there were great restaurants, shops, and tourists everywhere. Not anymore. It's all gone.
Right. Yeah,
and the politicians just don't seem to care.
Right. Yeah.
That's the main thing. The funny thing to me are some of the liberals that, like people like Snoop Dogg of all people, hates President Trump's been very vocal about that. He's always been a Maxine Waters supporter, and you watch and you go, one of these days Snoop Dogg's going to change his mind. And I think we're getting, and I don't care if he does or not, but he has been kind of thrown under the bus by the liberals in the last couple of days because he took his grandkid to see Lightyear, Disney movie. Is that a Disney movie or
Disney Pixar? Yeah.
Took him to see Lightyear, and he said he got kind of thrown for a loop during the movie when his grandson asked him about the lesbian couple. And Snoop said, why we got to show that at this age?
Yeah.
He said, they got all these questions I don't want to have to answer. And he's right. These are little children. You shouldn't have to explain things like that to them at this age.
Yeah, apparently the couple was two females, and they had a baby together. And the boy, the grandson, was asking, I think he called him Papa Snoop. Papa Snoop, how can they do that? How can two women have a baby? And of course, there's no way to explain that in the middle of the movie.
It's just some of that woke Disney bullshit. That's what that is. They insist on throwing it into all their stuff, and that's why Disney is tanking. I mean, if you read lately, the parks are half empty. The movies are flopping. I mean, they got big problems at Disney, and I think the board at Disney's finally waking up to the fact that, we can't do this anymore. Because I don't know if you've seen there's a really funny South Park episode. Have you seen it about Disney?
No.
Well, there's I don't watch South Park. I just saw this clip. But there's this one, I assume, lesbian woman at Disney that was kind of the casting director for a lot of their movies. And so the skit was, it was a Disney meeting room, and it was casting suggestions. And the lady would look at the script, and she'd say, bring in 2 lesbians, 1 gay guy, and I'll greenlight it. And it was like everything they brought in, she'd say, it needs more gays. Get out of here till you get more gays. And it was really funny. I just saw the one clip, but
Sometimes
Crazy.
South Park uncovers some really serious truth.
They really do. They really
Yeah.
do. That and Homer Simpson does as well on The
Oh,
Simpsons.
geez, yeah.
I mean, the amount of predictions The Simpsons have made
It is
in
bizarre,
the past
isn't it?
that came true, it really is bizarre.
Yeah. Including Trump coming down the escalator.
This is a time where community needs to jump in and make sure we elect a Democratic House so that we have a backstop to this authoritarian push. Authoritarian push.
There's another one, this comedian I was talking to you about earlier, Mark. How do you say his last name?
Maron? Mark
Maron.
Yeah.
Now, Mark Maron, I'll post a picture of him in post-production so you can see who he is.
Okay.
But you'll recognize his face. He's been, he's had a lot of parts in movies and some TV things. And right now there's a new series with Luke Wilson that's on Apple Plus. It's a golf. It's kind of a takeoff on that Kevin Costner movie almost. You remember when he was a golfer?
Yeah.
This one, Luke Wilson, he's a washed-up golfer who screwed up at a tournament and blah. He finds a kid that can play really well. Anyway, this comedian Mark is in there with him. Now, Mark was he when I first heard about podcasting years ago, he was a guy. Somebody said, check out his podcast, and he was doing a podcast from his garage. And I just turned it on to see what podcasting was, what they were doing. So I didn't catch a lot of his content, but apparently it was very left-wing and very liberal. But there weren't a lot of people doing podcasting, and he was pretty popular. And now he is attacking all the other podcasters. Number one, he hates it that we're podcasting on video. He said the art form was the audio, that you could express your message with just audio. You didn't need visuals or any of that stuff. And I went, well, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
You can have video and just listen to the audio. You can play YouTube on your phone in your car if you just want to listen and not watch. You're not forced to watch it. But he hates Donald Trump. And he's appearing on places like Pod Save America, but he's attacking other comedians and Joe Rogan and people like that. And he's even attacking Bill Maher. Bill Maher, who's always been a big left-wing liberal guy, but he's kind of woke up. He's kind of a middle-of-the-road liberal guy now.
Well, Bill Maher was always one of those old school liberals who you could actually have a conversation with.
Still is. You can still have a conversation.
Not a lefty loon like some people where there's just no getting through. I mean, there's no way to find any logical or common ground.
He was on the WTF podcast with Camu Bell, a CNN host. He said, are you going to be like Bill Maher, agree with some of the things that Trump's doing? What's wrong with agreeing with some of the things that Trump's doing? No more than some of the things Obama did. I like that he killed Osama bin Laden. There you have it. I agreed with that. And then he said, it's like, dude, you're a bitch for supporting anything Trump does. And he's been critical of Joe Rogan for having Trump on. And then he calls out comedians with podcasts. Look, he's just one of those guys. He just seems like he's angry about everything and everybody. And he's the only one that's right. And if you don't do it this way, you're a sellout, man. And they're using their podcast platform to promote their stand-up career, their acting career. It all fits together. Now, that's the way the world works now. You got to be doing all of it to really be successful. I mean, in the music world, the acting world, the podcasting world, it all works together.
Well, I'm sure you're probably like me, that a lot of your thoughts have evolved over the years. There are some things that you thought were legitimately true in the past, and now you're going, man, I was wrong about that. And so
Yeah.
if you can't change over time and just look at evidence and see things that are happening,
You're a dinosaur.
yeah, and you reject it. And him saying podcasts are supposed to be, nothing but audio. Well, thank you, Marconi. I guess TV will never work then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. For example, we just finished this JFK documentary over on History City. And, I never, until I was about 45 years old, I never thought seriously that the government might have been involved in the death of our own president.
Right.
I mean, I never would have even dreamed of that. An American patriot would never do that. Well, turns out, I believe now that the CIA was involved in the death of Kennedy, either by not eliminating the threat or by actively promoting the threat.
Right.
And they probably did it because they thought it was patriotic. Or they did it because they were supporting the industrial military machine. I don't know which, but I now believe that they were. So, yeah, I've changed my mind about a lot of stuff.
I'm sure you probably know people who say Lyndon Johnson was complicit in that murder. He's the one who did it. And there's some evidence to indicate that may not be totally inaccurate.
A lot of theories. We're never going to know exactly what happened. But yeah, I was never a liberal Democrat. Like I was my senior year of high school. I graduated 6 months earlier. Graduated in January. But the first half of my senior year, I had one class. And it was a law class, and it was just I took it because we didn't have to do anything. It counted for several credits toward graduation. And what we did, we met in the class for a couple of weeks, but then every day I would drive myself and 4 other kids from Cedartown to downtown Atlanta to the Georgia State Capitol building, and we were all interns for people in the government. I ran a camera. In the well down there, and you learn pretty quick things aren't as they seem.
Yeah.
And so at the time, Jimmy Carter was the governor, and boy, everybody loved Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter. When you heard all the actual people at the Capitol, they all hated him, because he was blowing up the state government and making all these changes that they didn't want made. And at the time, I thought, well, maybe they need to be changed. And then he did it to the federal government, and the economy went to hell in a handbag. And that was the end of my dabbling in Democratic politics.
I see.
Jimmy Carter. I want to ask you a question, because at my house, I probably have, I have 2 or 3 big American flags that I keep folded up correctly in a closet, right? Because I don't have really any. I got one of those poles you put on the front porch.
Right.
And I'll put it out there at 4th of July. But I got a million of those little flags.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I don't have the same respect and reverence for those that I do the big ones. What do? Like you stick them in a flower pot on the front porch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the little bit, they're this big, and they're out there all the time, and then the stick. What do you do? What's the right way to get them? Do you burn them? Because isn't that going to be against the law?
That's what you're supposed to do. Either that or bury them, actually. You fold them up and bury them. However, a local Boy Scout troop, if you let them know that you have a flag that is either worn out or torn or faded, you can hand it to the Boy Scouts, and they will dispose of it properly.
It's like a Goodwill for flags, the Boy Scouts are.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, of course, the new executive order that Trump signed just yesterday makes it a crime to burn the American flag, punishable by a year in prison.
Yeah, that's for the that's for those liberal, lice-infested left-wing hippies that go out in the street and put the lighter fluid on it and light it on fire just to make people mad.
Well, but normally that's done in an effort to incite anger or a riot, even. To
like
incite
kind of like
violence.
the mayor of Chicago saying the people of Chicago will rise up against the tyranny. He's trying to incite violence, like it's Black Lives Matter all over again.
Yeah, so I kind of get the argument that it's freedom of speech and you should be able to express that, but I also get the argument that if you are trying to incite some sort of violence, trying to work a crowd up to get them to do something, or if there's burn ordinances in a city where you're not supposed to have open fires, that's a legitimate excuse. Yeah.
Yeah, we had one Myrtle Beach last fall. Some lady was burning stuff in her backyard and nearly burned the whole Carolina Forest neighborhood down.
Was that what caused that fire? Okay.
Yeah. It was a lady burning trash in her backyard in a nice neighborhood, and you're not supposed to be doing it. It was really dry, and there's pine needles everywhere. So I don't know about you. Have you ever wanted, I don't know, probably 15 years ago, I thought, that might be fun to do one time. You ever wanted to go to that Burning Man thing? Just to see it, not to dress up in your loincloth and roam around or anything, but just
being on tom-toms. Okay. Yeah.
Just to see it.
Take my crystals and those sorts of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have a weird sort of interest in it, but beyond that, no, it's too much weirdness for me.
It's the same with me. It's just you see clips of all the weirdo. I would just like to see it, in person. But there's a I don't know the name of it off. You could search for it on Netflix. But there were some people who. Was it last year that they had so much rain, or was it the year before?
I think it was last year.
So it was just horrible. I mean, they had monsoons, and they're out in the desert, so it quickly turned to just a giant muddy mosh pit. And so basically, most of the people just abandoned everything and left.
Right.
Now they've always in the past they've been all about leaving the desert. Better than we found it, et cetera, et cetera. And remember the video of the people that tried to block the only highway going in there? They were like Native Americans or something, and they had that little road, and people just blasted right through them. But anyway, this couple, I guess there is a organization that's in charge of Burning Man. They sell the tickets, they sell the spaces, the concessions. There's big money behind it. It's not just like come on out in the desert and have fun. It's a big money maker for somebody.
Oh yeah.
But this couple, they were able to sneak in after the thing and took all this video of just what a horrible nightmare of a garbage dump they had turned this place into. But this year it's different. They got lucky. They caught a break this year off. They don't have any rain.
No good. Well, that's great news for them then, isn't it?
Not really.
No.
Because they got this 100-mile-an-hour wind dust storm going on. Watch this.
Oh.
Woo. Looks fun.
Yeah.
Where's all the naked girls?
They got sand in their cracks right now.
Yeah, they do.
Oof. Oh yeah.
Look at that. Oh, pink.
Mammoth.
Pink mammoth. I don't know what that is. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine? People paid thousands and thousands of dollars to be there to go through that, and then
and the vendors who are out there wanting to sell their wares, and all the prostitution that's out there trying to sell.
And then, they have that orgy thing.
Yeah.
There's some sort of a orgy get together, and then what is it that they actually burn a man at the end?
It's some giant effigy, and I don't know what it represents, but they set fire.
I'm sure it's satanic. It's something satanic. I can guarantee you that.
Of course it is.
And most of the people there are probably satanic as well. Just don't go. Just watch little clips. Don't go.
You know what? I'll scratch it off my list now. I mean, it's just floods, sandstorms. What's next?
That's God. That's God working. He's wiping it off the map. He's just going to get one day. The Earth's just going to open up. And they're going to all fall down in the earth.
Swallow them up.
Close back up.
Voting in the affirmative. Baldwin, Rochester, Durbin, Heinrich, Hirono, Kane.
So I have a video today. I have been actually looking for this video. I know I have it on VCR, and I bought a VCR player at Goodwill a couple of years ago, and every now and then I'll get some out. The problem is converting them from analog to digital so that you can put them on YouTube or whatever. But there was one video that I was looking for in particular, and it was a video of me and my on-air partner at the time, a guy by the name of Terrence McKeever. And Terrence McKeever, as great of a partner as you were on the radio, Terrence McKeever, he was just one of a kind. He had, I think, the greatest laugh in radio. He just had this great laugh. And it was nothing like his actual personality. He was a very difficult person at times, and he passed away some years ago. But I had a great time working with him for 3 years. But one day, we were, I guess the station was about a year and a half old. We'd done really, really well. We had our #1 ratings. And so there was a local TV station that had just gotten Star Search. Remember that?
Sure.
Ed McMahon, the Star.
Yeah.
So we were doing a cross promotion with the TV station. And so they said, look, after the show tomorrow, we're going to send a film crew over, and we want you guys to do a couple of promos for the cross promotion for the show. And we said, oh, okay, fine. And I had forgotten about it, and you can see that by what I was wearing that day. And so they show up with these cameras and everything, but they didn't have any scripts. There were no scripts, no words to read. It was just, I said, well, what do you want us to do? They said, we don't care. Just talk about the promotion. I said, for 30 seconds? And they said, yeah, and we need about 3 or 4 of them. And then we need some 10, and we need some 10s as well. And I go, so we were just literally goofballing it. And I mean, when I see it now, it's almost embarrassing. But Terrence, who I'd known for about 4 or 5 years at this point, and we'd been working together for about 3 years, I never knew that Terrence had false teeth. He'd never told me, and I never noticed and didn't know anything. And we're doing this thing, and we did several different skits, and this video was too long, and I had to edit it to get it to work on the platform. But in this particular one, Terrence was playing a drunk. And he was playing like he was drunk, and he gets animated. And watch what happens near the end of the promo right here.
To audition for the show, you could be selected to appear on Star Search and compete for $100,000 in cash.
Sign up to audition, call 429-KTTY.
Thank you. Auditions take place August 12th and 13th.
Oh, my God. Don't worry, Henry. I'll wrap it up for you. KTTY Q106 invites you to audition for the show. You could be selected to be on Star Search, compete for $100,000 in cash.
Thank you, Jack.
Sign up to
I
audition.
found them.
Call 4TY.
I think we got them.
Call 429-KTTY.
We're ready now.
Auditions take place the 12th and 13th at Mission Valley.
I recognize them anywhere.
Remember, you could be the next toothless person on Star Search. That's just for me and him, okay?
Oh, man.
Have you ever wanted to be a big star like this man?
I laughed so hard when I saw that. That was just, that was crazy. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, never seen anybody have to pop their teeth back in. No.
But the way he handled it, like if that'd been me, I'd been so embarrassed, I would have ran out of the room and not come back,
What a guy.
Funny man.
Yeah.
He was a funny, funny man. Well, listen, thank you for being part of the Jack Murphy podcast today. Hope you enjoyed that little video. And remember, it's my old friend Terrence McKeever. And if you did like the video, go ahead and click the like button and subscribe. You know, big milestone, Alpha. 200 subscribers now. 200 subscribers now. 200.
All righty.
200 subscribers. And I want to remind you over at History City that, and I did put a link in yesterday or day before, I put a link to it. The JFK documentary is up and playing. You can go check that out on History City. Have a great National Dog Day, Alpha. Thank you for being with us. And well, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow here on the Jack Murphy Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching the Jack Murphy Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Go ahead, ring it. Get alerts when a new episode drops. And tell your friends about the Jack Murphy Podcast. But only the cool friends, please. Tune in next time for another episode of the Jack Murphy Podcast.